Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech, and today I'm happy to announce I'm starting a new bi-weekly series. Now from this week, every other Saturday, with a few exceptions in December, January when I'll be off the grid, I am gonna be posting a video on something not too mainstream. Over the past few years, I've been getting more and more disenchanted with phones. I mean, there are only so many ways you can describe a glass sandwich slap with incremental generational improvements, right? So I've been spending my free time playing around with a lot of other gadgets that I really haven't had a chance to talk about on C4E Tech. And with this show, Niche Tech, I plan to change that. Every other week, I plan on bringing you a device that I've been enjoying using, one that I bought with the express intention of personal usage, not to review or anything. Well, I can't promise every device I'm going to be showcasing on the series is going to be interesting to you, because I'm sure people who know me will agree I tend to get interested in a lot of weird niche stuff. But one thing I'm going to do right now is start the series with the promise that if I ever get to a point where I'm thinking, oh, I need to buy something just to show it on the series, then I'll end it. I'm just looking at this as a passion project where I'm going to be showcasing things that I find fun and I want to share with anyone else who might find it fun too. Okay, enough with the long drony intro. Let's actually get to the first device that I'm going to be showcasing, the Logitech G Cloud. First, let's start with what it is and what it can do. The G Cloud is a handheld game console from Logitech. It's designed to be your go-to for game streaming services that are growing in popularity in the West at the moment. Services like Xbox Game Pass, the cloud part of it, GeForce Now, etc. Now, these streaming services aren't available in a lot of places, like for example in India or in the Middle East, and that's why the G Cloud, it's had a very limited launch. It's just available in select countries. Now, though these cloud streaming services might not be available everywhere, local streaming over LAN is. And because of that, I've absolutely enjoyed spending time with my G Cloud. It's easily one of my favorite handhelds today. Now, looking at this, you might be tempted to immediately ask yourself, why this? Why not a phone with a telescopic controller? It's not something like this, even something like the GameStar X2 Pro, the Backbone, the Razer Kishi V2. These days we have a lot of excellent telescopic controllers. Hell, forget telescopic controllers. If you're a gamer, I'm sure you have some console controller lying around that you can always clip your phone onto. So what's the deal with the G Cloud? Now the simple answer for this would be this, the display. A 7-inch Full HD LCD panel with a 60Hz refresh. It might not seem like much. I mean, we have gaming phones with 6.8-inch OLED panels, right? And an ROG Phone 6D with a Kunai gamepad with that 165Hz refresh, the OLED panel, it should make for a much better experience, correct? Well, actually not. Not for the use case that we are looking at here, which is game streaming. Guys, here's the deal. Phones these days, they have stretched out aspect ratios which aren't optimal for streaming. If you compare the actual usable screen areas, here's a card to my video where I explain how you can compare different displays with, different aspect ratios for displays. Check it out if you want more information on the subject. So anyway, the Logitech G Cloud's 7-inch 16:9 panel gives you 57% more screen real estate than the ROG Phone 6D's 6.8-inch panel, because this is 20.4:9. The largest screen surface that you can get on any phone today for 16:9 content is just 6.44 inches, and that's with the Xiaomi Mi Max 2. And even compared to that, the G Cloud gets you 18% more area on the screen. And this large display makes streaming games from your Xbox or PlayStation 4 or 5 or even your PC an excellent experience. And given the focus on streaming, where you're often limited to 1080p and 60Hz, the lack of a higher refresh or resolution, it isn't really a con here. I mean, I would have still loved to see OLED though. Anyway, a good display, it isn't the only thing you need. To have a good gaming experience, having a good controller setup is also very important, and that's something Logitech has delivered on. The sticks are large and comfortable to use, the triggers are analog and have reasonably good travel, the buttons are large, they are easy to press, very responsive. This little Logitech G button, it doubles as the Xbox key or the PS key from the console controllers. So overall, the controller part of the G Cloud, it feels very well done. The sticks in particular, which are a super important aspect of streaming, they're comparable to what you'd get from actual first-party game controllers. The sticks in particular are usually a pain point for some gaming handhelds, like say the Retroid Pocket 3 or the iNodin. The sticks they use are too small and imprecise for AAA game streaming. The only other handheld, the Android handheld that I can think of with sticks this good, would be the GPD XP, but then again, that has a narrow display and comes with its own set of cons. Okay, good screen, great controls. The next thing I look for in a streaming handheld is being able to game on it for long periods of time. And one thing that's important for that would be ergonomics, which again Logitech has absolutely nailed. The weight is just 463 grams, making it much lighter than the likes of, say, the Steam Deck. Now yes, there are Android handhelds that are lighter, but the way they are built and the way this is built is very different. This extra area to grip, the textured plastic to the back. Having tried out almost all the competition, with a clear conscience, I can say that the G Cloud does offer the best experience with respect to ergonomics. It's not even close. I've gamed continuously for hours and hours on this. Basically at night, I wrap my gaming sessions up when I need to go to sleep. Not cause my wrist is fatigued and definitely not cause the battery is dying. Which is no surprise since this is an Android device with a relatively underpowered chip. The 6000 mAh battery on the inside, when I use it for streaming or playing lightweight Android games, I easily go 4+ days on a single charge with about an hour and a half to 2 hours of gaming per day. Do keep in mind, I use it almost exclusively in bed, so my brightness is usually set low. Now that said, you should still easily be able to get 9+ hours of continuous gaming on this, even if you're running the display at higher brightness levels, and that is pretty darn good. Now, as far as the interface goes, it's quite simple. Select the app you want, launch it, run it, and hit this button to come back to the home screen. There's no swiping, no multitasking, nothing. Just uninterrupted gaming via streaming or natively. Now, if you don't like this interface and want something more familiar, go on to settings and switch on to the tablet mode. Now this is just regular Android, it's just the regular interface with multitasking and being able to pull down the notification bar for the quick toggles and everything that you're familiar with. I haven't yet settled on what I like more. I kind of keep jumping back and forth between both interfaces. Now before we move on to the cons, the last big positive for this guy, it's got to be these speakers here. They are very loud, very high quality, much louder than anything I've come across on a handheld till date. Much louder than my Odin, much louder than my Steam Deck. Okay, time to switch on over to the negatives, and let's start with the big one, the chip on the inside. This is, in a way, underpowered AF. The G Cloud is powered by a Snapdragon 720G SoC while being priced at $350 US. Yes, 350. Given you could get a regular Switch for $50 lesser, a Steam Deck for $50 more, and a Switch OLED for pretty much the same price, this pricing feels blasphemous. Also think about it for a minute. The Snapdragon 720G is a SoC that was announced all the way back in 2019. So here's a 4-year-old mid-range chip that was sold on phones like the Poco M2 Pro a couple of years back for half the asking price of the G Cloud. I mean, this is the reason why this device gets a lot of hate from people, and deservedly so. I love the G Cloud because my requirement is niche to be able to stream games from my Xbox Series X, from my PC, from my PS5, and this is the only device that caters to said niche. The fact that it does that well doesn't change the other fact that Logitech's pricing is atrocious. Now, the other criticisms I see about the G Cloud, I wouldn't say pay much attention to it, because there are things like not having a built-in button mapping solution or not having support for display out. Now these, that's not what this device is trying to do. It's not aimed at Android gaming or aimed at being used while being docked. Now yes, you can do a fair bit of Android gaming on this, but Android games are usually built for smaller screens and scale well with narrower aspect ratios. So an Android phone, which will definitely be giving you better performance, anything in this price segment, it's definitely going to be more efficient. Even a $250 Android phone with a $100 backbone, or a Razer Kishi V2 is gonna give you much better results with Android gaming. Similarly, yes, you can use this for retro gaming, emulation. The chip inside is powerful enough to even handle some PS2 titles, and Logitech's microSD support is much appreciated here. But then again, if emulation is your priority, do not buy this. The Odin Lite, the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, they all offer way better value. So basically, what's happened here is Logitech's found a niche without competition, and given they are the only ones offering a device in said niche, they've decided sky's the limit for pricing. As a consumer, do I feel exploited? I sure do. But the fact that there's no competition means I'm forced to also say, Thank you, Logitech, for the exploitation. And that really pisses me off. And that's kind of the reason why I have a love-hate relationship with the G Cloud. And anyways, with that, we are at the end of episode 1 of Niche Tech. What do you guys feel about this? Leave a comment down below. And while you're down there, thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about this video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you're already subscribed, hit that bell icon to turn on notifications. Thanks for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech. And I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.